Here's what's really scary about Fetch.AI. It's the relative valuation to Ethereum. The FET token is pretty constantly underperforming versus ETH. It's also underperforming versus Bitcoin. Now, I have made a separate video just on the fundamentals of Fetch.AI, so on the team, on the technology, etc. That's directly after this video. So if you're interested in the fundamentals, feel free to simply just skip to the end of this video and watch that one. This video here looks at the relative valuation, at the dynamics, at the price dynamics within crypto. And unfortunately, this doesn't look too great for the FET token. Let's jump in. Let's start with the US dollar related valuation. So simply just FET in Tether. And this doesn't really have a clear direction, right? Here it's pretty hard to say whether or not we are currently expensive or cheap in FET. And even since beginning of time, right, we pretty much held the same kind of price. So it doesn't look too bad. But once we look at FET relative to Ethereum, this isn't as pretty. And this is on a logarithmic chart. So when you look from the beginning to today, we've got an underperformance of 93%. Once you look at this on a linear scale, this is way worse, right? This looks pretty scary. But even if we don't look at the linear scale, right? Even if we move to logarithmic and we simply just draw trend lines, then we are now in a not so nice situation. We did have our rallies every now and then, quite massive rallies actually, 700%. But currently we are not in such a rally. And these bear and bull movements are moving pretty constantly between the extremes. What's the potential downside? Versus ETH, we are looking at a loss of 78%. Now, why is this relative valuation chart to Ethereum even important? Don't we just all want to make US dollar gains? The problem is whenever investing into something, you have opportunity costs, right? So when you just deploy your money into Ethereum, you've got something that's comparatively lower risk than if you take on the risk for Fetch.AI, for example, right? It has way lower of a market cap, it has less of a network effect established, etc. So the increased risk that you take on with FET should be compensated with increased performance over time. That's why we have to put these investments in relation to one another. Now let's also look at FET versus Bitcoin. And this isn't much better. Here, since issuance to today, we have an underperformance of 98%. The trend starting from 2020 isn't too ugly though. But still, within that trend, we are currently rather underperforming, and the potential loss here is also 66%. And that's how I see altcoins in general. You don't necessarily want to hold a big bag of various altcoins over the long term because very often there is heightened inflation, right? New tokens get issued all the time, increasing the supply, which makes potentially the price appreciate less than, for example, for Ethereum or Bitcoin, where the inflation is very low. So I think it's better in general to use altcoins for short-term trading, to try to time those waves to a degree. And currently the wave is unfortunately not on our side. Now I have made a separate video on Fetch.AI's fundamentals. That's over here. Looking forward to see you in that video as well. And feel free to also join our Telegram and our Discord. Links are down below. See you in the next video and thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.